Hey girls, if you are really struggling to build your glutes, then this video is for you. I have helped thousands of girls worldwide transform their bodies and achieve serious glute goals, as well as my own transformation using my methods. So today's video is going to take you through one of the workouts of my brand new power booty program, and I'm going to be giving you my top coaching tips for each of the exercises so that you can apply them straight to your workout. Let's go. Okay, so we are going to be doing barbell hip thrusts, and I'm doing them today off a bit of a box setup. Usually I use a bench, but there's no bench around here, so a box it is today. I get asked a lot about how to get the barbell on top of you. Easy. Sit into position with your back, your shoulder blades resting up on here. Simply legs out, roll the barbell over just to be sitting on top of your hips. Next thing I do is get my feet into position. So you want to make sure that they're about shoulder width apart and your toes tracking slightly out again. They should be close enough to you so that when you are at the top of the hip thrust, they are in a 90-degree angle to the floor. Shoulder blades resting across here. Bar pulled in tight. Feet in. Big breath. Lift. Now with every rep that I am going up, I'm keeping my chin tucked down, neutral gaze forward, and with every rep, I've got that posterior pelvic tilt. So that is tucking, scooping your bum under. By having your chin tucked, this also helps to further engage your glutes as well. Also make sure that your ribs are kept down, your core is locked on tight throughout the whole movement, and you are really squeezing your glutes at the top of each rep. Often I get asked, how do I not feel this in my lower back, or I get a really sore lower back after a hip thrust? This is and can be due to the fact that you are hyperextending. You are pushing up way too high when it does come to the top of the hip thrust. You only need to hit a certain range of motion for your glutes to be in that maximum contraction. Make sure that you're not just swinging your hips up super high, because again, it's going to engage your lower back. Okay, next up we have Bulgarian split squat. Now these are one of my favorite variations when it does come to like lunges and split squats. Bulgarians I find more core dominant, and we are further enhancing this by how we are positioning our stance. Now, with a wider stride, you are actually hitting your glutes, as opposed to when it is a narrow stride, which is a more core dominant exercise. Now, in this one as well, we're going to be bending over at the torso to then allow our knee to come backwards with the rep, which again hits our glutes. If you're new to this exercise, you can still do body weight only, and body weight, trust me, is a killer. And also with any kind of lunge or split squat, we still want to make sure that we are keeping our knee tracking out along our toes. So toes will still be slightly turned out on an angle, and make sure that your knees are still tracking out. And as I was saying with the back leg, when we are up in that positioning, make sure that you are coming backwards and letting your back knee sink in closer towards the bench. This is the back extension machine. We're going to be making this again a more glute dominant exercise by doing a variation that has a rounded back. Now there's the traditional back extension where you're just going sort of 45 degrees up and down, but this one we're kind of tucking under. We are rounding our spine, and by doing this we are taking out our erectors, which is our lower back muscle, and that enables our glutes to really fire. Now I love this exercise in the higher rep ranges, so anywhere between sort of like 15 to 30. I find that the higher reps really does get you that good glute pump.
Can you feel it?
When you're doing this exercise, I want you to make sure that you're pointing your toes out. Again, this external rotation is further engaging your glutes. Also, when you are locked in, make sure that you're keeping your quads pressed firm against the pads and everything is really tight. You want to be driving out of your heels, and with every rep, squeeze your butt cheeks together like you are, what's an analogy? Cracking a walnut. Is that lame? But really, that's what I picture, that you're just like squeezing your butt so hard together with every single breath. The next exercise that we are moving on to is the leg press. Now we're going to be making this one a more glute dominant exercise with the variation with our feet high and wide on this. So just depending on where you place your feet, it will target your lower body a little bit differently. Now before I get into the exercise, I did want to point out that when you are working with machines, you need to make sure that you do adjust them to suit your body shape. Now I do have very long legs, so I make sure that I have this quite low just to really give me that depth and range of motion with my exercises. Now I usually do a warm-up set first, just on like this only, no weight. But when I get into my sets, with this we're going to be adding weight onto the machine with every set we do, just to really challenge ourselves. Okay, so as I said, this is going to be a glute dominant variation, so please take note of my foot placement. They're high and wide here. So we're going to make sure that our toes are slightly tracking out, and with each rep this means that our knees need to stay out and tracking in line with our toes. No caving in of your knees here, girls. You'll notice my knees staying out, and driving up. Driving through my heels here, up. And also make sure that you're pulling yourself into the bench and your back is flat against the bench. You don't want to be rounding or arching, otherwise you're going to really feel this in your lower back. Everything needs to be pulled in tight and really just focusing on driving out of your heels. Next up we have our high dumbbell step up. Now, given the bench height, this is probably going to be suitable for you more intermediate to advanced girls out there. If you are a beginner, I highly recommend that you drop the bench height a little bit just to really get yourself used to this exercise and movement pattern. Now, this exercise is putting your glutes in the greatest stretch position at the top. So it is, I guess, simulating a bit of a squat position at the bottom of the squat, where you are getting that deep stretch in your glute ham tying area. All of the work on this exercise is done out of your front leg, out of the top leg. You are driving out of your heel up here, and the back leg is honestly not doing much work. You shouldn't be pushing off the back leg because that isn't where we really want to focus, and that's not the glute that is doing the work. So this, again, this is a unilateral exercise. That means we are working one limb at a time. So make sure that you keep that in mind when you're working that front working leg. Okay, so my clients will know how much I love a really good glute finisher. So today I'm going to be doing just a body weight only, but trust me, do not underestimate the power of a body weight little finisher at the end of your workout. So this one is going to be single leg hip thrust into hip thrust into abductions, and then finishing up with some more hip thrusts. So lots of thrusting. Thanks for watching today's video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you learned something new. Now, Power Booty is now available. So this really is your ultimate guide to glute training. So girls, if you are ready to step up your training and build some serious booties, then let's do it. I'd love to have you part of my team. Let's go.